Today's Wednesday, and yesterday I went to do one of the sessions of the Perfect Daughters. Unfortunately, nobody showed up, so I felt demoralized because I know how much effort and input and passion I put into working with the daughters of alcoholics and doing our therapy with them. And so I drove all the way to Accrington and then the way back, and nothing. On a different scheme of things, it's not nothing, because of course I got myself prepared, I had all the material prepared, I packed my car, I showed up on time. So if I see it from that point of view, of course I'm putting myself into this, and I know how much I like doing this, which is good. But at the same time, I would have liked my fabulous women to show up, but they didn't. So I thought, what's the point? And of course, because I had a long shift without any break, I was getting a bit annoyed, also because some people, when I told them that I did the second time the shift for 12 hours with no break, they messaged me saying that I should have taken the break anyway, forget about the people should have waited, the law says that I have to take the breaks and everything, which is all very true. And I also don't feel at all somewhat protected by the agency, and I'm wondering how the agency can choose these places and send people to work there. So this made me think also a lot, and I was somewhat angry, also because I felt not understood myself by the people that texted me, which I know that they have my best interest at heart. So I mean, I love them for this, but they are not aware what a shift in there is. So I've been very crude, and I wrote this very long post on my Facebook page about how a shift is really in there. Some people don't understand that these people in this care home are old, but some of them are not even that old, because one is only 59, for example. But they are somewhat at the end of their journey, and you need to change them, to clean them, to wash them, to turn them because of their pressure points every 2 hours. So by the time you finish your first round of turning, it's already 2 hours have gone, and you've got to start all over again. And these people have got no time to wait. You can't leave somebody, and sorry if I'm crude again, but up to in their piss and with their bowels open, just because you take your break. This is not me. Don't get me wrong, I sneaked out to have the old cigarette, but this is not actually having a break and saying, you know, I'm taking my half-an-hour break and now I'm going out for a walk, eat something and have a cup of tea and put my feet up, and or maybe just chill out and have a nap for 15 minutes. But you cannot do that, because these people are human beings, and it's not that they are able bodies like me, you know, my joints are moving, I'm elastic, I'm not agile as I would like to be, but still I'm able to do things. But these people can't. Their bodies are physically stiff and entwined and clenched, and their skin is so fragile that you could hurt them just talking to them. And then we had an emergency because somebody banged his head during the afternoon, and then when we put him to bed, everything was okay. And then we realized during the check that actually the cut that he has on his head completely broken up, and he was covered in blood, and he was losing so much blood you could see actually like the skull. And of course we had to call an ambulance and everything. Of course, this is not my vocational job. I don't see myself doing this. I do this because I need money in order to survive and in order to pay my bills, in order to pay my mortgage, because I don't want to lose the house. And I'm doing it a one-off once a week for 12 hours, so I can afford to just to stay up for 12 hours and do like this. But I'm mad at the agency, I'm mad at the system, because besides looking after these old people, I'm also supposed to clean the living room and hoover and mop and wash and possibly clean the kitchen and clean the trolley and clean and wash the cups. And there is no time, and there's only me and another colleague, just two of us for the whole of the 12 hours night shift, and this really drove me mad. And you know what, this made me think, and I reminded myself of these old women from my valley where I come from, in the northeast of Italy. And even though, I don't know, their cows died, or there was a bad crop, or when the earthquake in 1976 arrived, and I mean 3/4 of the people were dead, and the village was completely destroyed, and the neighboring villages too, and everything. They just get on with it. And sometimes in life you have to realize that you have to get on with it. And I know that people need to be listened to, needs to be how you call it, needs to be accepted for who they are, even for their weakness points and moments. And but some other times you just have to do some things, and there is no even a way of stop thinking and wondering, oh, what shall I do? Shall I take my break? Shall I leave the chaps in there now? Shall I just turn the other lady half an hour late? No, you just do things and you get on with it, because there are things in life where you need to take responsibility of, and you just do it. And so, like these old women from my lovely Friulian land, I just do things. And what bothers me and demoralizes me is the fact that even though I put so much effort and input into this, I still can't find a door that actually opens up and I can show who I really am and do the things that I really like to do. This reminds me a piece. Let me see if I can actually quickly find it in my folder here, because otherwise I've got it somewhere else. Yes, Virginia is. Hold on. Oh, here it is. There is a nice poem written by a lady called Oriah Mountain Dreamer called The Invitation. And one of the verses says, it doesn't interest me where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. And this is, to me, really, this is somewhat my manifesto. I do it. I remember when somebody called from Italy to let me know in the middle of the night, 2,000 kilometers away, that my mother passed away in the night. What should I have done? Should I have, I don't know, get my car and drove all the way down, or there were no trains available, no buses and coaches, no anything that needs to be done? Unfortunately, my mother was dead. Very sad about it, but it would have been silly of me to get on my car and drive all the way down. That would have been dangerous. I booked with my sister the flights to go down, but those flights were like 3 days apart after the event. So I've been called at 3 o'clock in the morning about my mother passing away. I was alone. I was sharing my flat with some colleagues, and who just kindly one just brought me a chamomile tea, and then he went back straight to bed. So I was alone. In the morning, I got a message from such a dear friend of mine who's a doctor, and who was in Brazil at the time, and he gave me the best advice ever. He said, now it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, you go and have a shower, eat something if you feel like eating something, and then you go to work. And this is what I did. Because life goes on. Because you can't just stop and whinge and moan all the time. I know that this video thing looks like that I'm whinging and moaning, because sometimes, of course, we do have, we feel the need of having like a valve, an expansion valve, where everything that goes on in your life, you need to express it. And this is where my creativity comes in. But then I've got to do it. It was like my 12-hour shift. I couldn't have stopped and say, oh my God, no, this chap is up to his neck into shit and I don't feel like touching it. No, you go and do it, because this is something that needs to be done. If you need to work 12-hour shift and with no breaks because there are emergencies, you just do it. So these people, for me, have got the biggest appreciation, and I'm so proud to have known some of these people working into these care homes. And as I said, it's not going to be my dream job. It's not my vocation. My vocation is completely different, and this is what I'm actually trying to achieve. And now, let's close this parenthesis, because I went today to see a place for my placement. For the counselling course. It is a center for people with eating disorders, very nice. And besides sorting the placement, which is what I really need, they also would like to do something with the resident tree. Somewhat a sort of collaboration, start doing some workshops with them. So, I don't know. Is it because Mercury has gone direct today? I feel in a different mood. I feel passionate and I feel more driven and more hopeful today. There is a book that I've read that is really interesting. If you can just bear a second with me about this. So here it is. The book is called The Buddha in Daily Life, by Richard Coaston, and it is an introduction to the Buddhism of Nichiren Daishonin, and I am a member of the Soka Gakkai. I am a Buddhist by faith. And I've realized that when I am into my loop, intellectual loop, in which I somewhat try to find a sense of stability and tranquility, I am actually in the world most of the time of tranquility. The Buddhism of Nichiren Daishonin says there are like 10 worlds, and tranquility is the 5th of the 10 worlds. And it is like, says here, I'm quoting, the state of being at peace or at rest. But in my intellectual loop that I keep on redecorating, it is actually the extreme form of tranquility, which is laziness, negligence sometimes, apathy, and I tend to be passive because I just watch television for many hours. I just sit here and do absolutely nothing and just wait for, most of the time, like some help to come from the outside. So the world of tranquility on its positive side, of course, is being at rest, being at peace, etc. But on this extreme end, it is limited, and without the counterbalance of those life states involving effort, soon becomes enervating and hellish. So I just go back into my own kind of hell. And then I am into the world, I get straight into the world of rapture, which is, of course, sometimes called as the desire for love, intense, exhilarating. When I have my somewhat creative burst and everything, I'm just so into really desire and rapture for what I'm doing, so much so I even forget to smoke. It's like I've never been a smoker when I'm actually into my creative mode. I've realized while I was talking before about the 10 worlds that probably my intellectual loop is somewhat more complicated. I know I'm going from tranquility to the state of rapture, but at the same time I'm going in the deepest of despair into the state of hell, and then, for example, while I'm doing this blog, I'm into the learning and realization state. The moment that I'm actually working in the care home and doing the shift, probably I'm into my bodhisattva, caring person. Whenever I'm craving for something, including somewhat like a sense of acceptance and attention, and as much as I used to crave for a sense of belonging once, I am in the world of hunger. So I thought that for me it would be nice if I can actually create a short video in a sort of like a PowerPoint kind of thing about my intellectual loop with the different worlds, and possibly how to beat them and break them in the moment that I should go back into the loop again. So that's it for now. Buddha in Daily Life, the invitation. Again, today is Wednesday, so cleaning, etc. Needing to send a couple of emails. We'll upload the blogs and possibly start a decoupaging thing, this video thing, and you see, it would be so nice if I just had money that would allow me just to do all these things during the day, or if somebody would just pay me to do these things and allow me to do it. And so this is basically my aim. So that's it, and I shall see you tomorrow. College again tomorrow, Thursday, so God only knows what my evening video is going to be tomorrow night.